Hey, Gala Music, welcome to another and I am Taco, community manager, and we are in for a treat today because we have two emerging artists who are dropping tracks, and Cyrano wanted to stop by to hang out.
Yeah,
And,
let's
uh,
go.
so, Cyrano, welcome. This is amazing.
Thank you.
You want to introduce your artists?
Man. All right. I'm super duper uber excited about these two. And to be on here, I had to take the time to come introduce personally. First of all, as you Gala community members will know, both of these artists performed at Gala Music Live LA, the first ever Gala Music Live. And if I'm not mistaken, the lady here, Jaq, was the first performer at the first Gala Music Live. So she's like one of one of one of one of one. And this is Jaq McKenzie. Please introduce yourself quickly. Say hello to the people.
Hey guys, I'm Jaq. If you haven't seen me around before, here I am now. I'm based in LA and I've been doing my music my whole life, honestly. And I'm really excited to be a part of Gala.
Nice. We're excited to have you. Yeah. And then also joining us is Mr. Louis King, who is a beast of an MC and somebody who I have a lot of respect for, who you're going to learn about today, who's working on some amazing things. And I will let him introduce himself for now.
What's going on, Gala? What's up, Cyrano?
What's up?
How everyone feeling? What's up, Jaq? My name is Louis King, native of the West LA, West Side, representing for the Aim for the Heart, Mike Sessions Posse. And we excited to be here in the Galaverse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Excited to have you.
This is really fun because you're pretty different artistically. So it'll be nice to introduce you both to the community and what you're about, because totally different vibes.
Yes.
Which I think is amazing. Louis, I was looking into you after the LA Live show, and you've been touring for like 30 years, it seems like, with every name you can imagine, which is unbelievable.
Yep.
Thank you. Absolutely. Just, traveling. It seemed like 30 years, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's just a few years, but definitely blessed to just travel and just share my art and, an amazing group of like some of the dopest artists on the planet that have brought me on tour with them. To name a few: Earl Sweatshirt, Anderson .Paak, The Outlaws, Edie and Noble, so Corrupt. So yeah, just a few, but definitely love touring, love traveling, and meeting new people, new places, new faces.
Yeah, and not just bringing you on tour, but also you've been making music with some of them as well recently, right?
Yeah, been making music, been really producing and writing and just doing a lot of work with a lot of people in the industry for a while. So it's really been exciting to have a lot of those larger acts, or a few of those larger acts tap back in, really support me on my album and my music, my releases. So it's definitely exciting.
Dope.
And how did you meet Cyrano? How did he bring you into Gala?
I met Cyrano through Layla. Actually, the first time I met Cyrano was on Clubhouse. I don't know if I can say that on here, but I was Clubhouse, and we were in this room for like developing artists, and Cyrano was on the panel. And so we were in this room like every week talking about how to develop artists, different skills and different, strategies. But really, long story short, through Layla Steinberg, through the Mike Sessions, Cyrano was like one of the OGs before I was working with Layla and me and before me and Jaq and our generation, Mike Sessions, Cyrano was killing it, holding it down before us. So it's like it's family even before here.
Exactly.
And Jaq, you've known Cyrano since you were like 3 years old or something, right?
I think since I was like like 9 for sure.
Yeah, 9 for sure.
9 for sure, because that's when Layla Steinberg, who Louis just mentioned, that's when she met me, and she right away included me in mic sessions, which at the time was so funny because everyone else was probably in their like 20s. And I was this little 9-year-old girl like singing my songs on the stage.
Yeah.
But I learned so much through that experience. And look, full circle, family. It's a family affair, you know?
Yeah, and she wasn't, let's be real, she wasn't just singing her little songs. These weren't nursery rhymes. And it wasn't just little singing. Like, she was 9 years old and she was a beast at it.
Oh, thanks.
And that's what we identify early on. Like, this young lady is talented for sure, and she's committed to her music. So that was exciting way back then. That was before. What year was that? How old are you now? What year was that?
So 10, maybe like 2009
Yeah,
was when I was like 10 years old, because I was born in 99.
Yeah, so that was before, like, I moved to Japan and did that whole sprint. Like, yeah, I remember that. That's when I was heavy with Layla in the mic sessions and touring and going country to country.
Mic sessions and Layla taught me at a really young age to not be afraid of the microphone. She always said, the mic is your friend. It's nothing to be scared of. And it really empowers people that actually like have something to say through their art and have a voice that needs to be unleashed, to really embrace those types of settings where you can speak freely and be accepted and not be judged, and actually have a conversation around what you're even writing about, you know, so everyone can expand.
Yep, absolutely.
Layla is on, she's watching YouTube. She's in the YouTube right now. She says hi.
Hey, Layla.
What up?
For people at home and for me, what are the mic sessions?
Oh man,
I'm like,
I will let Louis answer that one, because he's heavily engaged now, and I think over the years it stayed the same in some ways and it's transformed in some ways, and he's most familiar with the artists who are coming through the space now. So I would have him answer that question.
Thank you, Cyrano. Thank you, Matt. The mic sessions mic sessions was founded by Layla Steinberg in her living room. Tupac Shakur was one of the first artists to, participate, and they would write on topic each week. They would write about how they felt, the feelings, they would express themselves. So it's about managing, identifying, accessing, and assessing your emotions. And so mic sessions is kind of partnered with Aim for the Heart.org, which is like the nonprofit to where we do this heart work in schools and prisons and community spaces. And then mic sessions is like the overall, the actual event to where Layla hosts a group of artists and we all share our pieces on a topic together. And then we get feedback on that topic and on the song. And it's really a powerful space to where we create and empower people for being vulnerable through music and arts.
That's great. Yeah, I saw that you were doing the Aim for the Heart, and it sounds like a really amazing program. So everyone should check that out if you haven't checked it out already. That's super cool. So, wow, to be involved in that at any age would be great. To be jumping in at that at 9 is probably something. So, Jaq, you've been exploring music for a really long time. Now your voice, your music is pretty distinct. What were some of your influences to get you to where you are now as a musician?
I feel like I have gone through a lot of phases, as people tend to do, from the age of 9 to like mid-20s, and continue to do later on as well. I think when I was younger, my influences were music that my mom would play. Like, she played a lot of Joni Mitchell, Alanis Morissette, James Taylor, Cat Stevens, like that kind of vibe. I was raised on Disney Channel, so I looked up to people like Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift and that kind of style of music. And then as I got older, through my teenage years, I felt that I needed to, I guess, reinvent myself. Does anybody else feel like that? Like at a certain age, you're like, oh, I just want to be rebellious. Can I cuss on here? I don't know. Just be like, F you. I want to do my own thing, find myself. And so I explored more. I really fell in love with like R&B and hip hop music. And so now I would say my sound is kind of like a mixture of what I was exploring through my teenage and early 20s and what my roots were when I was younger. It's kind of like a good mesh of both. And I'm really happy to have my sound now kind of figured out.
Yeah, I just reinvented myself recently as I transformed into Taco. So yeah, people go through it at all ages. I totally get it.
100%.
Great. I know people are definitely enjoying your sound.
Oh, good.
We'll love your set at LA Live. They've been asking about both of you, really, like when are these people joining Gala?
Here we are.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Cyrano really started things out the right way with that one. He set the bar pretty high. And if people don't know, he's working so hard behind the scenes, making all this happen for Gala. Even like last week, he was, on his deathbed, sick, and was in Slack with all of us saying, like, guys, like I cannot work. I feel terrible. And then 5 minutes later, he's still like typing out new stuff. It's like, no, actually, I just had another meeting, and I'm doing X, Y, Z. And so he's like, even when he feels horrible, like he can't stop working for us, which is amazing.
Yeah, hopefully I can survive while doing that. But we just have so much going on now at Gala Music that even when I try to pull away from it, I can't, either because I'm too excited about what's coming up and what I'm working on, or somebody else is reaching out, one of the artists or one of the board of advisors, it's Layla, or it's, all these other folks who are now in the community and who really want to see this Web3 music thing take off and work. And so it's hard to stop. My wife is kind of like, dude, you're working 16-hour days. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't feel like work all the time. We're building something here and it's very exciting. And so it's not work, all the time. I enjoy it. So that's really cool. And speaking of Gala Music Live Los Angeles, we've had 2 more since then, including San Francisco, as well as Chicago, which was yesterday, which I've seen the video and heard the sound, and it looked and sounded awesome. Jaq, you were up in San Francisco, right? How was that?
San Francisco was amazing. Every artist absolutely killed it. It was a really great turnout, very supportive crowd, very attentive. And it was at this music venue. Is it called The Independent? I think is what it's called, but it's actually a really, really nice venue in San Francisco. Really big artists have performed there. So it was very professional. The artists were amazing. Great crowd. It was an overall pretty amazing experience. Yeah.
Nice. That's good to hear, because it's like you want to make sure that we maintain a certain quality and feel, and that the artists are all excellent and they leave there feeling like, they represented and were represented in a way that is befitting of themselves. So that's really good to hear, actually. Yeah. And then we're going to London on October 27th or 28th. I have to check, but that's coming up too.
I'm just gonna miss it.
And it's all good. We'll get you there next time for sure.
I think that might be a leak. I don't know if that's announced yet.
Oh, there it is. There's the leak. That's happening.
Apparently we're going to London. Mark your calendar.
Yeah.
We're giving the tea on this AMA.
I know there's a ton of people watching this right now who are spending the whole time on YouTube just shouting out Layla. If anybody has any questions for either of our artists or for Cyrano, hit us up and we can ask them here if they're classy. We talked about that already.
What can I ask Louis, what are you working on now, music wise? Is there a new project you're developing? Like what's happening in your music world right now?
Yeah, that's some exciting stuff. I'm working on No Traffic in LA is my kind of uh anticipated project that I've been working on. It represents being in LA, and if you're from LA, you know the statement "No traffic in LA" is like crazy. It's like
Yeah.
breaking the rules. So that's exactly what this project is doing. It's
Mm.
breaking what what's supposed to happen, who's supposed to be on, and how is this supposed to be done. Kind of like what happened when the pandemic hit. A lot of you know, traumatic events that were happening, but in the midst of that, there were miracles and there were things that were just like crazy. And one of them, the metaphor for that is no traffic.
Mm.
And I think the metaverse is something that is also, a product, or at least the pandemic contributed to the growth of the metaverse. And so this specific collection is taken straight from my No Traffic in LA album. It's all exclusive stuff, and this collection is called No Traffic in the Metaverse. So that's
Got it.
working on No Traffic in the Metaverse.
Oh, I love that. I love that, especially because yeah, everybody who was in LA during the pandemic, like that's one of the things you remember. Like you go outside, there's no cars on the street. Like, what? This is not possible. Yeah. That was it makes it very memorable actually. That's cool. I think where so Jack and Louis actually during the pandemic, how was your creativity impacted during like let's say the first really 12 to 18 months of the pandemic? Like how were you creatively? Like what was going on at that time?
I made so much music. It was like the only thing you could do.
Yep.
And I was working like full-time jobs before that, and everything closed down. So I literally just had nothing to do. I was very creative. This producer I was working with, Petros, he and I would just I would just sleep on his couch and stay there for like a week, and we would just wake up and make music and fall asleep making music. It was really,
Yeah.
really fun.
Mm.
And actually a lot of those like hidden gems that I haven't had the opportunity to release yet, I'm excited to release through Gala. So a lot
Let's
of
go.
my unreleased music that I want other people to hear will finally be coming out. I'm very excited.
Excellent. That's
Yeah.
dope. How about you, Louis?
Yeah, the pandemic was like definitely a creative driver for me. Um, it, I mean, I think like before the pandemic, it's like 2019. So we're on tour for like maybe like 10 months. It was Earl had the Fired Up tour, and then Anderson .Paak Best Teeth in the Game tour. We was in, Europe with Solange and Eric Badu. And all of a sudden, so I've been like doing a lot of touring. I'm creating this music, this project, and I'm getting ready to release the project. And we have like a day that's the release date, the party, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Party. And on that day, literally on that day, is the day that the president declared it a pandemic.
Oh,
Like March something, I don't know. But anyway, it was literally on that day. So
mhm.
like that took away. It was hard. It was hard to like you put all your energy into this like project to get attention to it, and then it's like, hey, like what's going on? Is like I don't care how good your music is. Like this is not going to be the priority right now.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of where like I came out of that and just was like creating like I said, just no limits, you know what I mean? You don't gotta you don't gotta do this, go to work, you gotta find something new. You just have to find something new that's gonna be what takes you to where you need to go. So
Right. Yeah,
I
man.
feel like too that's like the most interesting part about the pandemic in general, not just for artists, but for every person, is how people reacted to it, because when you don't have so much stimulation and your calendar isn't fully booked and it's just you sitting with yourself in your house, you have a lot of time to reflect on yourself, your mental, and everything. So it's cool to see how people found different ways to express themselves throughout that process.
It's so true. So when the pandemic hit, at that time, I had not written a new song, like a full new song, and recorded, especially for about 8 to 10 years at that point. And it's because I was off in Japan. I was just on a different mission in life. I'm like, let me explore some other stuff at this time. So I just stopped writing. I always knew that I would come back to it because there's always a song in my head, but I just did not sit down and write the songs. And then the pandemic happened and sat my ass down. And then one day I was like, I think I was just strolling through. No, my homeboy sent me tracks, and he's a dope producer. He produced some records for like Big Sean and all sorts of folks. And I found this one track, and it was just like sick. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna write, see what comes out. Let me just see. So I literally went and sat in my car in the parking structure and started writing to this track. And it came out really good. And I'm like, oh man, wait a minute. And that turned into the It's All Right song with Lazy Bone, actually, from Bone Thugs and Harmony. And after that, I think I wrote about 60 songs in that first 12 months of the pandemic and recorded about 30 of them. Because just like what Jack said, it's like you're sitting there, you don't have any distractions. Nobody's telling you to come to work or sit in traffic or anything like that. It's just like you. It's like, well, what am I going to do with these next however many hours I'm awake? I just got to writing, man. Writing. And the studio.
Did it feel like a clogged pipe just getting clean water, like shooting through it and releasing? That's how it feels.
Perfect analogy. A 10-year clogged pipe, stuff with hair and all sorts of stuff getting pushed out. And when it flowed, it just kept flowing, kept flowing. So that's, I'll have to put that stuff out someday. But yeah. That's some of what you heard when I randomly performed at the event, LA Live.
You're going to put that out someday with Gala, right?
Yes, naturally.
Naturally.
Of course.
All right, everybody. I'm going to be offended on behalf of the community that you haven't dropped anything yet.
Yeah, man, I know, but I got to focus on artists like these we have here with us. That's really the focus now for us.
That's fair.
Some amazing artists have been dropping recently.
A ton of them, some legit real talent. I'm super excited about everybody. Through the pandemic and recently, everyone's making a lot of content, which is amazing. We're about, giving power back to the artist and giving them choices and giving them some agency. And so when we sign artists to the platform, there isn't a strict code of like, give us 15 songs and we're going to pick the one we want. You basically decide for yourself, this is what we think would be a good fit. I'd love to hear about the songs that you guys chose for your first release with Gala. Where did it come from? What's the inspiration? Is there a story behind it?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. No, ladies first. You go, Jack. You got it.
Okay. I feel like for my first round of songs that I was trying to think of what would be the best fit to post. And I feel like with restriction that a lot of artists experience with their own art, which is crazy, I wanted to choose all of the songs that I feel have been neglected or kind of like dusted under the rug that I believe in and I think represent me really well as an artist that don't necessarily fit a certain guideline or like mold of who I should be, but just art that I naturally create. And I wanted to show the light of day to some of those songs. So I have a handful of songs. Some of them are older, some of them are newer. Some of them I fully like produced and wrote by myself because I find myself collaborating a lot, which is also a very beautiful thing. And I love collaborating with people. But I found that after a while, I would get kind of lazy and just like let other people produce or whatever, because it was easier to have someone else do it than for me to do it. but I've been embracing my own skill, and I'm excited to drop some stuff that's purely just me.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's dope, Jack. I'm excited to hear too.
Thank you.
Talking with you, seeing the growth is amazing. I'm like, I just wanted to drop something that, well, little history. Like with me, I create a lot, so this is like a perfect type of a platform for me. In 2018, I did a collection called The Beautiful Grind, where I released a new song every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for a whole year, from January 1st, 2018 to December 31st. And so, like, I'm always creating songs, I'm creating content. But with the Gala, with the metaverse, I wanted to create something that just like, for the first drop, I wanted you to hear it. And if you didn't think like I can like, you don't think the fuck is this? Like, this is it. Like, this is some, excuse my language, you know what I mean? But this is like some different. It could, like, what is it? It had to be like what is it? You know what I'm saying? It had to be some space type, just something that's different, exploring the new places, kind of like we are talking about earlier. There's no traffic, there's no boundaries, there's no limitations. And so that's how I kind of feel about the metaverse. It's like, this is unimaginable what's going on here, what we can create, the venues, the spaces that we can create. And so I wanted to make a song that went along with that feeling, and that also just expressed like the character and the brand who I wanted to represent in the metaverse, in general. So that's
I can't wait for everyone to see your visuals though too. So sick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question for you both. When you're entering this new Web3 space, what is it that excites you the most about it, and what do you tell your existing fans? You know, how do you explain to them what you're doing, what the value of it is to them and to yourself?
Question. I think the main thing that I'm really looking forward to is the sense of community that I feel like may be lacking, because social media now, as we know it, is very like oversaturated, and I'm excited for that community and relationship that I'm going to be building with people. I don't even want to call them fans, but just with like people that appreciate and can understand my art and relate to me.
Yep.
That's really exciting, because
Mhm.
I think content how it is now, not in the metaverse, is a little tricky for me to kind of decode,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Nope, that makes complete
And to
sense.
stay like motivated to create. I feel like Gala provides a really amazing platform where we can be our authentic selves and really support like the love that independent artists have for their craft, which
Yeah.
is something that may be kind of lacking in like the traditional machine that's kind of operating as it is right now.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
I want more connection, you know what I mean? It feels very surface level how it is now with social media. Or like the intention behind what you're doing isn't necessarily even pure because you like need certain things to be successful, and it's very like over thought out. And I just want to be a free flowing creative vessel. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even with DSPs as well, there's no connection to the artist, right? It's kind of just this sort of, pay your subscription and consume music, and that's it. There's no artist to fan connection whatsoever, which is not it's not necessarily fulfilling. And especially when you're being paid fractions of pennies on a stream, it's not financially fulfilling either for many independent artists.
Right.
How about you, Louis?
Man, I think you hit it spot on. Like for me, just like simplified for me, one of the greatest things that I'm excited about Gala is just value and valuing people. So like, first of all, like I just want to say I value you so much Cyrano, Paul, Matt, Jack, everyone that's listening right now. Like, you could be doing anything, you could be listening to anything, you could be studying anything. Like, I value y'all so much for being here. Like, it really means like so much to me and my whole family. Y'all are family, and I think that's one thing that's huge for Gala. Is like they're valuing us in a special way, and we're valuing them in a special way for sharing it. I mean, it's a big deal to be a consumer of music and to say, hey, I like this artist. This is my playlist. He's on that playlist, and y'all should hear him. Like
Yeah.
that's like a big thing, and just even like with Nipsey Hussle. I'm from West LA. I'm representing for Crenshaw. Like, we, he was on to something with the value.
Yeah.
When proud to pay, and I'm charge $100 for each one of my mixtapes. Like, it's value. It's value in people. So that's one thing I'm really excited about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with Nipsey, and it is value. It's like the thought and the effort put into the music is not a base level efforts that he was putting into that music. Like, so I understand why he would want that art to be valued. And it's always the thing about music when we went through the Napster period where it was all about piracy and all of that, and the value of music seemed to tank. And then you saw the stock value of music companies tank, and nobody's buying music. Everybody thinks it should be for free. And the question is, how do you return the value to the music? And my thing is, you can only do that by fostering the artist to fan relationship. It's the most important relationship in music. It is the only way the music is going to be properly valued. And so that's really what Gala Music is trying to do: foster that relationship, bring the value back to music, allow artists and fans to have this virtuous cycle of value sharing is really what we're trying to accomplish here, to be honest.
We have, as you guys have probably, like you saw in LA, we have a really great community. And I know a lot of companies say that, but with us, it's genuinely true. Like, I was in Chicago last night, and I knew like a bunch of the people there just from other Gala events. Like, they show up, they show out, they love what we're doing. Like, people who I started with just on Discord who are like my real life friends now. Like, that's just how Gala is. And with the NFTs, they're going to earn on our platform. But for me, the bigger part of it is the utility and the access of getting to be involved with an artist as they grow and as they produce. Because really, it's just like, I tell people, it's like a supercharged fan club. So you know exactly who those fans are. And there's a way you can engage with them that's special for those people. We just started doing a thing we're actually going to announce tomorrow, that we have a way already to sort of gate content with NFTs. OK Kenji made some stuff that he's going to put out. So if you go to this site, it checks your wallet to see that you own an NFT from that person, and then you're the only one who can see those things. And so, Jack, you're going to be going to the UK. You could, record something you're doing there, put it up on a site like this, and like, if I own your NFT, I can go access that because I'm supporting you and I'm the only one who can.
Wow.
Or if
And
you're
people
in the
that
studio,
don't own it can't.
Right.
yeah, yep. It's just because like these are the fans who are buying your NFTs and are super in it. And so I think stuff like that's amazing.
It is amazing. And even back to what you were saying about how the community is so genuine, I feel like, because going back to the value point that we were just making, it would only make sense that it would attract those types of people, because anyone who's just trying to get like a free stream or isn't fully invested, this probably isn't that type of crowd. This is attracting like people that actually care and want to go the extra mile and, want to be a part of the journey,
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
What are they asking in the chat group? I haven't even looked at it. Anything interesting?
Say I met Taco before it was a taco. That's probably true. It's mostly people are just hype about this. You guys are doing well, apparently.
Nice. Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so When are we dropping, Taco? When are these NFTs dropping?
We're doing a little bit different tomorrow, which I think is great. We're a global company, and we've been doing it at a time of day that was really good for some parts of the US and not so good if you're in Europe. So we're doing it a little bit earlier tomorrow. I think 10 o'clock Pacific time. And so whatever was at 8 hours ahead of that. So is that 6 o'clock in the
6
UK?
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 p.m. in the UK, which is amazing versus like having someone have to get up in the middle of the night. So switching it up a little bit and letting people have a bit more access if you're not in the US time zones, which is fun. Like we have to do stuff like that.
Absolutely. I will be up at 10 o'clock purchasing mine for sure.
I will also be up at 10 a.m. tomorrow because I'm flying to the UK tomorrow. So I'm excited.
That's going to be good. Very good.
So get some results in before you get on your plane, or maybe just you land in London and see that you sold out.
That would be amazing. That would be great. Let me manifest.
Yeah. one of the performers from Gala Music Live SF, you're going to join on tour, right?
That's right. Yeah, that was the reason I was at the San Francisco Gala Live. My chosen other, my boyfriend Jezere, is also a very talented artist, and he played at the Gala Live in San Francisco, and now he is going on tour with a band called the Driver Era, and they will be touring all around like England and the UK, which goes up into Scotland and Ireland as well. So that's going to be really fun.
Yep.
And yeah, for anybody, I guess, with the new feature that you just described, where if they like own one of your NFTs, they get to see exclusive content. If anybody purchases my NFT, you will be seeing a lot of cool exclusive content in Europe.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I was expecting the immediate return, but that's amazing.
We got these, right? I just got a new phone with more gigs and a really great camera.
Well, then that's great. Someone just asked if our app should have a go live feature where the artist can communicate with the fans. I think that's a thing that could eventually happen. There's going to be different phases of the rollout. Like once the main platform is live, we have all that, then they're going to work on the mobile app. But like honestly, the sky's the limit with how we can connect and how we can do things. The engineering team is top notch, and so yeah, all of it. It's Web3. Like you can do anything.
Yeah, Shang and Jay, we have an amazing engineering team. Wait until you guys see the platform when it's released. We're not dropping dates here, but it's coming.
It's close. I'm gonna drop it. It's close.
Yep. I saw a demo yesterday. It's amazing, for real.
I cannot wait.
Yep. That's when all the investment in the nodes and everything will start to make even more sense. So it's coming. I saw somebody ask about nodes on here, and there's great potential in the nodes, and you're definitely going to want to have these artists' music on your nodes. It's your own. You can consider it your own jukebox, where you get to invite people to come and listen to the awesome music that you've curated as music NFTs over this period of time that you've owned it. So we can promise that we're going to keep delivering awesome music and artists to you guys, and please keep supporting. That's what it's all about. Support is the main thing.
Sky is really the limit with Metaverse and this whole platform. It's so interesting. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot more coming too that we can't disclose. We can't leak everything, but there's a lot coming. You don't want to get people too excited too fast,
I'm excited enough for everybody right now.
Yeah.
Like the candy that we're doing.
And are you Jaq and Louis, are you all in the Discord?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so everybody engage with them in the Discord. They're there. You can holler at them.
Let me check right now.
Yeah.
Discord, it's like I feel like I look at the app and I'm still learning how to use it. I'm like slow on the update.
Yeah.
I'm like, where do I click to get to the chat? And then it takes me a second to figure it out.
Yeah. It takes some getting used to.
But I'm getting there.
Yep. Absolutely.
But I love y'all. I just chime in from like every now and then. I don't be knowing what to say, so I just be like, "Yo, what's good, y'all?" Or "Let's go." But I got my family in there, so it's love to y'all for real.
Nice. We have somebody who left a comment saying Jack sang a really great song at Gala Music Live LA, and I can't find it anywhere. There's only a piece that was posted on Twitter. Help, please help. It goes something like you tell me, you tell me, see, I will promise I take it.
You tell me, see, I promise.
Yeah. You tell me, see, I will promise take
Is that
it.
what they said?
Yeah.
It might be my song Soulmate Fever. I don't know. It is out on my Spotify, but I'd have to check. I'm trying to think.
Okay. Well, that's somebody who will probably be in the Discord will want to know where to find your music.
I'm like going through my set list. Like, which songs did I perform? Which lyrics could that be? I think that is from my song Soulmate Fever. I mean, I do have my Spotify up and running right now. So I have a lot of songs that are already released on there, on Apple Music, on any type of streaming platform. So maybe do like a deep dive. Maybe the song will be on there somewhere.
Yep.
And maybe it'll be on Gala soon. Who knows?
Lee.
We want it.
Absolutely. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that was great. Do you guys have anything else that you wanted to wrap up with or share with the community before we end this one?
I just think this is going to be a really, really cool experience, and it's going to unfold beautifully and open up this whole other world that we can't even begin to understand. But I'm very grateful to be a part of like the beginnings of it and be a selected artist. You guys created an amazing platform for independent artists. I'm very grateful. And for anyone that isn't a part of Gala already, I'm just saying now you better get in there quickly because it will be a big thing sooner than you know. And you just want to get in there early. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, sign up now.
Yeah. By the way, Cold Day in Hell. That's the name.
Oh, Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah. They're
I
asking
have a
where they can
music video
find
for
that.
that as well on my YouTube if they want to check it out. I'm a vampire, a man-eating vampire.
Nice. What's your YouTube handle?
I think it's just Jaq. Like if you would look up Cold Day in Hell Jaq, it should come up, and then it'll take you to my YouTube channel, and I have some more content and some cool stuff up there as well.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for your feedback and remembering my lyrics. That's cool. Whoever commented that.
Nice.
I'll see you in the metaverse.
Yep. Louis?
Just want to thank y'all. Excited to be here, and to everyone that's watching right now, everyone in the metaverse on the Discord, that's gonna support tomorrow when we drop. We about to go on a hell of an adventure. So get ready. You know what I'm saying? Get y'all clues. We gonna be dropping clues on y'all like a scavenger hunt. And y'all too. Gala Gang, Louis King, Jack, we in there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
If you haven't heard the 2 songs that are dropping tomorrow, once this closes out, stay tuned for 4 seconds, and we're going to run them both back to back. So if you're on this AMA, you'll hear both of those songs that we're dropping, which I think is great.
Very cool.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys. Cyrano, thanks for popping in. This was a nice treat.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Matt. Absolutely.
Thanks for organizing
Taco.
this, everyone.
Thank y'all, for real.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow morning for the drop.
Yes,
indeed.
and thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. We love you.
Much love, y'all.
Much love. Yeah.
I've been loving on my body all night. What? All night. I think I'm self-absorbed just a little, just a little. I got that fire in me, I shizzle all night. I'm always right, I'm never wrong, I'm stopping the shit, but can't make decisions. I see the light, I see the dark, yeah, I see it all, and I see the vision. Work on my mind, work on my heart, hear all my thoughts, but I never listen. After a while, you don't even miss them. Smile, sweet, but last time I'll tell you my truth, yeah, I'll tell you that I'm a narcissist, 'cause I know I'm pretty. I love my body. Look it right there, do it the best, I do it the best.
New cities to pursue in the afternoon. Young niggas making moves, Cadillacs and crews. Cardboard boxes and blue tints just passing through. Interact with roof freaks in their attics too. From a place of darkness close to where the sun set. Some rappers think they ready for the crown, but I'm the one next. Some rappers think they ready for the crown, but I'm the one next. Some rappers think they ready for the crown, but I'm the one next. New cities to pursue in the afternoon. Young niggas making moves, Cadillacs and crews. Cardboard boxes and blue tints just passing through. Interact with roof freaks in their attics too. From a place of darkness close to where the sun set. Some rappers think they ready for the crown, but I'm the one next. The one out, just one down, and none left. Who stuck round, the one blessed is profound, I confess. Bodies in the corridor, built by the corner store. Serve it on a smorgasbord, take it down to order more. All in all, I can't complain this foreign. If we fall, then we get up again. What's more and take control. This is the feeling when you coming and you know. Keep my hand up on my hip, and if you got it, this is gold. You know we reaping what we sow. Daddy brought me straight from out the cradle to the dog fight. I remember if they catch you slipping, it was on sight. Something lurking, creeping from behind you after midnight. Drive up in your car and look beside you at the stoplight. New cities to pursue in the afternoon. All around the map here with this attitude. You ain't used to getting high, all up in this altitude. AK staring at my window, what would Malcolm do? I'm an outlaw out for loot. Fresh out the stool, just come out your room. Then we met up at the mountain trail. We found him at the fountain pool. How many am I breaking down when I count your crew?